Okay. So just officially welcoming everyone here. Thank you so much for being here and taking time to just learn about and talk about the soul development. Everyone here knows me, but for those of you who are not on the live stream, who'll be watching the replay, I'm Renee Rowe, intuitive counselor and teacher. And one of my greatest passions is teaching people to develop that strong spiritual foundation. And my personal background is working with the Akashic Record. Okay. So I started working with the Akashic Record in 2009. And since then, I've had a very regular personal practice. And with the Akashic Record, it is all about the journey of the soul, the remembrance of the soul. Okay. So if you're thinking about yourself on the soul level, right? You're tuning in with that wisdom that goes deeper and beyond just the human psyche, right? A lot of times you'll notice maybe an incident comes up in life, right? And you might get overwhelmed within the human experience, the human suffering of an incident. But going deeper to that soul level, you're able to tap into that true meaning, that deeper meaning of your life and experiences and what is going on. Okay. And that's exactly what the Akashic Record does, right? The Akashic Record is that ever evolving storehouse of information. It has that memory of the journey of your soul. Okay. And have you ever wondered why you are here? What is the purpose of life? Okay. And just a reminder with my personal experience, it's with the Akashic Record. So I'm going to be sharing that perspective from the Akashic Record. Okay. And so with the Akashic Record, there's the deep belief in the soul. There's also the belief in free will choice. Okay. So through that perspective of the Akashic Record of like, why are you here? Right? The reason why we're here on that soul level is to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to return to source. Other words for source could be returning to the divine, returning to love, returning to God. Okay. And so with keeping that perspective of the Akashic Record there, right? Essentially, right, the purpose of life could be returning to source, returning to love, returning to God, right? And on the human level, these different life experiences are brought in to support you and the growth and evolution of your soul. And ultimately, that growth and evolution of your soul is returning you back to source. Okay. So let's just think about your own life right now, right? What is going on in your own life? You might even pick up on a specific theme of growth that's happening for you that is playing out in these different areas of your life. Some examples of this theme of growth could be uh, forgiveness, trust, of course, right? Coming into love, that unconditional love. So I just want you to take a moment and kind of think about what's going on in your life right now. Do you have a lot of loved ones passing, or maybe you're learning to let go and learning all about the grieving process, which in my personal experience with that grieving process, it has allowed for the beauty of self-love to come in as you're tending to those parts of yourself that need healing, right? But what is that theme of growth? that's going on in your life. And when you kind of pause and sit with it, you notice that, oh, actually, this is playing out in different areas of my life, in my work life, my relational life, right? Playing out in different areas, your spiritual life. Okay. So with the perspective of the Akashic Record, with you on that soul level, right? Before deciding to kind of come in and incarnate as human in this human experience, right? On that soul level, you have these specific contracts of growth. Okay. You have these specific contracts of growth that you've decided before incarnating as human. Okay. And you decide, and you're on that soul level, you're really, really excited, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to learn all about forgiveness. I'm going to learn all about love, right? So there's this kind of excitement on the soul level of what you're coming in to learn all about, right? So you have these growth contracts that you come in with, right? And so when we think about just what's going on in your life right now, these themes that this growth theme that you're picking up on, right? Knowing that on that deeper level, on that soul level, you did make a contract to learn all about that, right? Because it does support the growth and evolution of your soul. It ultimately does allow for you to return to source, to return to the divine, to return to love. Okay. Even though on the human level, when we're going through that in the present moment, we may lose sight of that deeper meaning. Okay. Especially when you're dealing with things like loss, right? Like grieving and loss, right? But being able to tune into that deeper meaning of what's going on in your life, right? What's that bigger picture? What's that perspective from the soul level? Okay. So here you are on the soul level, right? Having these contracts of growth that you're wanting to go through for your human experience. Okay. And in your human form, just like you are right now, right? In your human form, you'll have the opportunity for the experiences in life to come in and support those soul contracts of growth. Okay. Right. So think about if you were on this growth theme of forgiveness, right? So what's going to happen in your human experience is that life will present you with opportunities to learn all about forgiveness, right? So you might even think of different incidences that have come up in your life, right? That give you that opportunity to learn all about forgiveness, right? And sometimes when we're going through that process, we can move through some pain and discomfort. But a lot of times when we get through to the other side, we can look back and extend some gratitude for the journey that we've been through, because it has supported us and maybe created a deeper strength, a deeper wisdom. Maybe it's life experiences have brought us to connect with our spiritual self, right? And when you get on the other side of those moments, right, you can see that deeper meaning. But one of the things that I really value with working with the Akashic Record is when we're in the muck of it, when we're going through those experiences, right in the muck of it, right, we can open access to our Akashic Record and start receiving that deeper meaning and connecting with that on that soul level, right, as we're moving through those stages of development. Okay. And I just want to touch on one thing that is important, right? So even though we're connecting with the deeper meanings of what's going on in our life, right? The life experiences that are happening, right? That deeper soul perspective. It doesn't mean that we're not honoring our human experience and avoiding our emotional pain, right? We're fully being present and allowing ourselves to be human, allowing ourselves to go through that experience, acknowledging our emotional pain, our discomfort, and working with it and processing it, right? Being able to tune in to that deeper meaning, right? That soul level does allow us to hold our center with it more so we don't get overwhelmed, right? And kind of caught in the mental mind and stories where we're just in this suffering, right? But connecting with that deeper soul reason of why we're going through what we're going through does allow us to hold our center more, acknowledging ourselves for the whole of who we are. So when we're tending to that part of ourself that does need healing, that does need uh, to be processed and worked with, right? We can heal and evolve and move forward from that. Okay, so that's the difference, right? Um, right. So you're not avoiding your human experience, right? You're still acknowledging your human experience while tapping in to the deeper reason of what you're going through. Okay, that broader perspective when you're looking through the lens of the soul. And when we're talking about this journey of the soul, there is the acknowledgement of multiple human experiences. Okay. And sometimes it can take lifetimes for us to heal and evolve from a certain growth contract that we bring in to work with. Okay. So I just want to welcome in patience, right? We're not in a rush to evolve. We're not in a rush to grow. We're bringing in that sense of presence and patience and gentleness with ourselves. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about free will choice. Okay. So just a reminder, right? When earlier I was saying that with the Akashic Record, there is the honoring and the belief in free will choice, right? And I just want to share a little bit. Well, how does that fit in when we were just talking about, like on that soul level, we have these contracts of growth that we come in to learn about through our human experience, right? And but then we're going to add in free will choice. Okay. So free will choice is a big deal here, because what it's saying is that even though on that soul level you have contracted to learn these different things, go through um, learn these specific growth contracts, right? Before you incarnate in your human experience, right? Where the free will choice comes in is you have that free will choice on the human level to decide whether you want to honor your growth contracts or not, right? So those growth contracts are put in place, right? And because they're put in place, those experiences in life are going to come in for you to either grow, evolve, heal, right, and kind of close that chapter on those growth contracts or not. You may choose, hey, this is too much for me. I'm actually going to choose not to grow. I'm just going to hang out and stay out right where I'm at. That is your free will choice. Okay. right? And that happens. Sometimes something comes up and it's just it can be too challenging in the moment to want to heal, to grow from, to learn. And we might decide just to let it come around next time. Maybe we'll address that in the next lifetime. Okay. That is your free will choice. Okay. Another aspect of the free will choice, right, is say you do decide to say yes, right, to honoring the growth of your soul, right? Those life experiences come in for you to work with, and you choose to heal, right? The other way this could unfold and play out is that you might choose to be in kind of placing judgment and blame on others, right? That would be a choice to not grow and heal, right? And that's okay, right? Because we're all ready to heal at different moments in our lives, right? And that's your free will choice, right? But say, this life experience comes in, right, and it's all about this growth theme of forgiveness, right? It's rocking your world, whew, shaking you up, right? And in that moment you make that free will choice to honor the growth of your soul. You choose to heal, right? You can also choose how to move through that growth contract, right? You can make that choice to bring in gentleness, to maybe to connect with the angelic realm and receive their support and their love as you move through this moment of growth, right? Or maybe you make that free will choice to move through it on your own, and it might feel really, really, really challenging and really difficult, right? But I want to bring in that acknowledgement of free will choice, because it's very empowering for you, okay, to know that you have choice, and to bring in a sense of gentleness and acceptance around those choices, right? To not internally be beating yourself up or putting yourself down just because something comes up and you're not quite ready to heal yet, right? You have that free will choice to bring in acceptance and gentleness for who you are and where you're at in the present moment. And just knowing that those growth contracts are there for you when you're ready, right? They're not going away. They're there for you when you're ready. When you're ready to heal, to grow, to evolve, honoring the growth of your soul. Okay. So we've been talking a little bit about like these growth contracts, right, on that soul level, okay, and how life you can be met in life with these different experiences that are there to support your growth, right? These growth contracts, okay, and just a little tip on that, right? I'm a big fan of gentleness, okay? And if you happen to be going through a growth contract right now, you've kind of had that time to pause and see this theme that's going on in your life, right? Identifying what this growth contract is, right? And maybe it's been really challenging. Okay, it's like, wow, this is hard. This is really challenging. Life keeps presenting these experiences, and it's like, yeah, I see it. I'm here. I see it. I get it. Hey God, hey universe, hey divine, I get it. I can see it, right? Sometimes the life experiences come in really strongly because the like source, divine, whatever you want to call it, thinks that we're not paying attention. Okay. And so it tries to make the signal louder and louder until we acknowledge that, yes, I get it. I'm paying attention. Okay. So if you have something, a growth contract that's going on, and these signals are getting really loud, Okay. I, I want you to just take a moment right now and acknowledge, like, hey, I get it. This is my growth contract right now. This is what I'm learning about. And the signals are loud and clear. I acknowledge it. And I am grateful for these experiences, but I'm asking for gentleness. So now those signals can come in, but they're a little bit quieter, right? They don't need to shake the whole foundation of your being. Okay. Right? We're bringing in that free will choice, right? You can ask for that gentleness to move through these moments of growth. Okay. So if you notice that these signals in life are getting a little too strong for you, it's just because those experiences are coming in, because it's kind of like sometimes people need that wake up call, right? But if you are already aware of the growth contract and you're taking your steps to work with that, ask for that gentleness, right? Acknowledge that, yes, I get it. Acknowledge your growth contract, right? And those signals can quiet down and you can receive that gentleness, right? To move through and heal. Okay. Ask for that gentleness. Okay. Those signals get a little too loud. Okay. I just want to talk a little bit now about the karmic relationships. Okay. So you've already kind of gotten this information about just kind of life experiences coming in, right, to support us with these contracts of growth that we come in with, right, on that soul level, right? And part of those life experiences, right, could be with other people, with relationships, right? And through that perspective of the Akashic Record, individuals meet each other where they left off in other lifetimes. Okay. So I'm sure you've all had that experience, right? The first time you meet someone, it could evoke an emotional response, right? You may notice that you just met this person, but you have this deep connection. You're feeling really safe and comfortable around one another. And you have this strong like and love and care for this person, even though you've only known each other for a couple minutes, right? Or there could be the experience where you just look at someone and it evokes these emotions where you have this strong dislike for someone, right? And so that just goes back with the individuals meet each other where they left off in other lifetimes. So wherever those relationships left off in the previous lifetime, your human experience of that previous lifetime, that's going to be met in the presence, okay, in the present moment, right? So most likely, if you're having a strong emotional reaction to someone, you got some history together, right? You got some karmic memory going on, okay? That's being brought into the present relationship, okay? And sometimes with these relationships, right, there can be unresolved things that are wanting to come in and be healed, okay? Other ways that the relationships can be affected, right, is say say you have like a mother-daughter relationship, right? And say in a previous lifetime the roles were switched, right? That the mother in this lifetime was the daughter in the past life, right? And the daughter in this lifetime was the mother in the past life, right? The roles are switched, right? And then again, right, individuals meet each other where they left off in other lifetimes, right? So say in that previous lifetime, there's this dynamic between the mother and the daughter, right? And where the mother is the kind of the authority, right, to the daughter, right, the mentor to the daughter, right? And then you fast forward to this lifetime, right, where the roles are switched, and then mom, who's used to being daughter, in the previous life, right, and in this lifetime is wondering, why does my kid not listen to me? Why don't they take like me serious? Why don't I feel like the parent, right? So you see how the past life information can start bringing in some insight and clarity of what's going on in the present relationship and how that's playing out. Okay. And when you access that information from the Akashic Record, what I've noticed, it'll give you that deep insight and clarity about current relationship dynamics, also opening up to that karmic memory, the past life dynamics that were shared as well. And when you get that clarity and insight, it allows you to see it from that perspective of compassion and coming into more of an acceptance, instead of kind of feeling more in conflict and creating this friction into why something's playing out in the present moment in a certain way, right? You can bring in that clarity and insight and kind of relax a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, I was the mom in the past life, I was the daughter in the past life, that's why this is coming out and about. And it's not that the dynamic changes, but the emotional charge around it can dissipate, and then it can be easier to move through it. Okay. And sometimes with karmic relationships, right, say you were in a previous lifetime relationship, right, where maybe you were in a position of power and you took power away from someone else in some way, right? And on that soul level, right, the pendulum wants to swing, the balance wants to happen, right? And then on that soul level, you might decide that you want to have experiences of powerlessness, right? Because in those previous lives, right, you were in that position of maybe taking power over others, right? And on that soul level, right, that balance wants to happen, and you want to have that growth contract to experience powerlessness, right? So you might come in to this lifetime, right, to experience moments of powerlessness, right, where it humbles you in a way, right, and can clear that karmic contract of the previous moments of when you were interacting in ways of taking power from others, right? And so you're dealing with things coming kind of full circle, or the balance of those, right? And closing kind of that contract of growth on being able to see what it's like to be on the other side of that, right? That'll happen a lot as well. And we want to bring in karmic relationships again, right? Right. And so maybe you'll be met in a relationship with someone from the past where you took power away from them, right? And then maybe on that soul level, you decide to come in to this lifetime, right, to experience that sense of powerlessness with that person. Okay. Doesn't necessarily have to be that person, right? But that's how that karma could work, right? And healing the karmic contracts we have, right? And you'll notice that it's all about just, right, coming into balance, right, with situations, especially with past choices, past actions, that we've taken, right? Bringing those into balance, right? And you bring those into balance and you'll kind of notice that you ultimately do return to love. Okay. And I just wanted to, before we go into just checking with everyone with questions, I just wanted to just share different ways if you were interested in communicating with your soul, right? Being able to have that opportunity to tune in with yourself more on that soul level, right? Honoring the growth and development of your soul, which is very different than just following just the human desires, right? You could do that through meditation. I actually started out with Tibetan silent meditation. I started my daily meditation practice in 2005, and that really allowed me just to kind of tune in with myself on a deeper level and start being the witness to my human conditioning, my patterns, right? And being able to be the observer and the witness instead of just playing those out unknowingly, right? It does allow for you to tap into yourself on that deeper soul level. Prayer, okay? Prayer. I love using prayer for me personally in those moments in life when you like you're on your knees, you're going through a challenge and you just can't see a way out, right? That's a beautiful moment to bring in prayer, okay? And of course, you know what we've been talking about, right, is accessing the Akashic Record, because the Akashic Record is that soul memory, the journey of the soul, and it allows you to tap into the deeper meaning of what is going on in your life. Who is this person in your life, right? What is the purpose of your life on that soul level? Okay, we as individuals, we hold these unique gifts that are meant to be offered to humanity. And when we can tune in to that soul purpose, those gifts that are meant to be offered to humanity, it creates a deep, fulfilling, and meaningful life for ourselves. But at the same time, it might be where our greatest growth lies, right? Because we're honoring the evolution of our soul by sharing these very intimate, the true essence of ourselves, the very intimate parts of ourselves with humanity, right? And that would be shared from, not from our wounds, right? But from the true essence, that healed part of ourselves, that love part of ourselves, that part that's connected with source. Okay. Okay. And I'm just wanting to check in with everyone. That was a lot of information, okay? And just reminding you that this is recorded. So if you want to go back and listen to it, okay? You have that option for yourselves, okay? How's everyone doing? You doing okay? Okay. And thank you so much for listening and taking that in. For me personally, being able to acknowledge life from that soul level has been very profound for me. Has given me the opportunity to right, to heal and to grow. Okay, and one thing that really helps me, right, when those challenges in life come up, right, it can be challenging sometimes to have right? To tap into that free will, that will, right? To choose to heal. Okay. And if you are wanting that for yourself, right? But sometimes it's not the appropriate time, right? It could be too much. But if you are wanting that for yourself, one thing that I do, the intentions that I hold in my heart really do matter, right? And they can be that co-creation with our lives. And the strong intention that I constantly hold in my heart is I choose to heal, right? So in those moments in life when I'm tested, right, you're a little shaken up, right, where it's so easy to go into blame stories, go into judgment stories, right? I connect with my heart, and I might even repeat like that to myself. I choose to heal. My intention is I choose to heal. Okay. And that's helped me to stay connected and to honor the growth of my soul instead of just revisiting it over and over. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I just want to check in. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a
Yes,
question.
please. Oh, sorry. Monica. Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah.
I first wanted to thank you so much for doing these little videos. I love it. I was curious, I mean, what is it that, yes, I choose to heal, but then other people that are involved that have a huge power over things, if they don't choose to heal, then it just makes my healing even deeper, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
usually that's not by my choice of free will. So I guess what I'm asking is like, how is it pretty much that I have to represent the healing and offer that opportunity that we could all heal? And then it's up to their free will to see if they want to heal as well and better the situation.
Yep. So we definitely got to honor the free will choice of others, right? And they may choose to just stay in the same patterns, right? But you know how I was talking about gentleness, right? We can choose gentleness, right? So when we're going through these growth contracts that are like, this is hard, like what is going on here, right? I want you to acknowledge the growth contract, right? And I always like to hold it in my heart, right? That deep acknowledgement is like, this is my growth contract. I get it, right? And you might even bring awareness to those life experiences that are reflecting this growth contract, right? And do that check-in with yourself, right? Are you meeting when you're bringing in those life experiences that are allowing your soul to grow, are you meeting it with like what are you meeting it with? Frustration, anger, right? But when you can come into a gratitude with that, that'll help, right? It'll release some of that overwhelm of the emotional charge on everything, right? Okay. And then ask for that gentleness, right? You're acknowledging, right, your growth contract, right? You know, on that soul level that you know your soul's all excited, not so great in the human form, but soul's all excited. It's like, oh, look at this, is so exciting, you're learning all about this, yay, right? The human part of us can sometimes be like, oh no, right? But when you acknowledge it, right, ask for that gentleness to come in, right? It doesn't mean that you're no longer going to choose to heal and grow, right? But you're just asking for the signals to be more gentle, right? And
So
they
then
will
when,
be more gentle, as long as you hold on to the commitment.
okay, because that's something too.
Okay.
It's just like, yeah, I've been on this path, but it's just like,
Yeah.
damn, here's another huge,
Mm-hmm.
huge, big wall in the way. And it's just like, what the heck?
Yeah. Ask for that gentleness. Okay.
Oh.
Right. But there has to be that gentleness will come when you kind of like, you have to check in with yourself, right? A little self-reflection is like, oh, do I have that commitment kind of in my heart that yes, I'm going to continue to heal, grow, and evolve in this growth contract, even though the life experiences that come in, right, that are just trying to reflect this part of me that's wanting to heal, right? That I'm still going to pay attention when they're quieter, when the signal's not so loud, right?
Okay.
Right. What helps with that? Right. Meditation, right? When in meditation, you learn to be witness to those subtleties, right? Right. That helps, right? You see
Yeah.
how with meditation, being able to hear those whispers of guidance, right? Paying attention to the subtleties can translate to bringing that natural gentleness of the life experiences that are coming in to support your healing and your growth, right?
Okay.
Because you're paying attention to the subtleties. Okay.
Okay, I don't want to take up the whole time. Go ahead with somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. But I want you to sit and do a meditation for yourself and acknowledge your growth contract and everything, the person involved, right? And bring in that gentleness, right? Ask for gentleness. Okay.
Okay, because the bottom line is I asked for this big growth, and it's just like, whoa, I got this big growth, but I didn't know what I was really asking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're just asking for it to not be so loud, right? And you're acknowledging, like, I get it, right? It's like those aha moments, the clarity when those life experiences, those big signals come in, right? Because they're reflecting the parts of us, right, that want to grow and heal, right?
Okay.
And when other people come in, those reflections come in, right? The more we heal within ourselves, right? Kind of close that contract of growth, the more that other person isn't so attracted to us, right?
Okay.
To play out that experience, right?
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And what, Christy? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about something you said about it might, if like, I think the example you gave is if you took power from someone else in a previous lifetime, you might choose to experience powerlessness. And then said it isn't necessarily with that same person, it would be circumstances. So if that's the case, how does that relate to any karmic debt we might have with that person? Or is it more karmic debt about a situation and it has nothing to do with the person? Or how does that work?
Yeah. So let's play with the scenario, right? So when we're talking about like this previous experience, right? Of like, say you took you were making choices and taking actions, right, with that intent to take someone's power away from them, right? And you do have that karmic memory, that karmic relationship with that person, right? So let's just talk about that dynamic, right? So now we come to the present life, right? And say that person shows up in your life, right? What you're going to notice is that you'll have these very familiar ways of slipping into that role of taking that person's power away, right? Because that's what's familiar to you, right? And it's really interesting when you get to that space to start just like without taking action, observing where your natural inclinations are, right? And so say in this lifetime, you're normally not someone that approaches people of wanting to, take their choice away, take their power away, right? But then you meet this person in your life and you're kind of acting out in these ways where you're like, what's going on here? Why am I like acting in this way where I'm actually, and you might experience like disgust in yourself. And so it's like, oh, I'm taking this power away from this person, right? I'm not honoring their choice. I'm going to take their choice away, right? And what you'll notice is because there's this in the previous lifetime, there's this dynamic, right? This pattern, right? And it could be unknowingly be just playing out. It's familiar terrain, right? And in order to heal that karmic debt right? You would need to pause before acting out from those natural inclinations, right?
Yeah.
And choosing not to continuously take that person's power away from them, right? That would heal that relationship, heal that karmic debt. Okay.
In case it does have to do with that person rather than just, you're not, because I thought you said something about you work that out in the situation, not necessarily with the same person, but.
Yeah, well, say if you had that the karmic memory, right? And of like we were saying, you experienced in a lot of lifetimes taking the power away from others, right? Maybe there was a lot of lifetimes of with that. And so then on the soul level, you're like, you know what? I want to have this contract of growth of experiencing powerlessness, right?
Mhm.
Right.
With
And that
whoever,
could be played out with that same person, right?
Mhm.
But most likely not, right? Because that person, maybe they're not one to take power away from others. You'd probably experience that with other people,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, like some people think of it as a pendulum swinging, right? So things coming into balance, right?
Mhm.
You experience something one way, and then your soul is giving you the opportunity to experience it in a different way. And it's kind of feeling like full circle, right?
Right.
And you've
Okay.
healed that contract, right? And then say you healed that contract, and then again, you meet that person where in the previous life you had taken their power away from them. What I'm guessing what's going to happen is you're not going to be tempted by those familiar patterns of interacting with them, of taking their power away. It's like it's kind of resolved on your end, but you may notice that person might be trying to interact with you of easily giving their power away to you or something. Right.
Yeah. What I think has happened with one relationship is I think I was really horrible to somebody in a previous life. And now I think in this one, she's trying to take revenge. And I guess that's a way for me to see the flip side in that way, I guess.
Exactly. Right. She's holding that pain in from some lifetimes, right? And it's coming, right? It's coming out, right? And then you have this choice to either revert to those very familiar patterns of being nasty to that person, right?
Or just
right,
or give her for what she's doing this time.
And how you're doing it now, it's like to me, you're healing and clearing that karmic debt, right? You don't have control over how she's going to react. She has her own stuff, right?
Because if my karmic memory is correct, I deserve to have her be angry with me. So I don't feel I need to fight it, but on the other hand, I'm not going to participate either. So you don't have to participate. And we might let go. It's like, it's not that you deserve it or anything, but she's reacting from situations that have happened from the past, right? So a way to heal that is to just not fight her in any way, except
exactly how you're doing it. Right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Because it creates that that closure, and it's not easy, right? It's like you have to stay connected to your strengths, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Sherry.
Okay, so karmic contracts. You can agree with the person to do multiple lifetimes together to learn through experiences. You can agree to do that with a particular person. Just wanted to verify that.
You can. Maybe on the soul level, you might have kind of like really closeness on that soul level, and maybe there's this growth that you're wanting to go through that could be really challenging, right? And it could be even someone in this lifetime that you're at odds with, right? But on that soul level, there's this closeness, because on that soul level, they contracted to support you in that growth. And it actually comes from love, right? But the human can experience it as maybe emotional pain or being at big odds. You know, I've witnessed that as well, right?
You can have a relationship with a person in this timeline, and they're not the problem, but they're the person who has come to support you through the learning and the growth.
But on that whole human level, we might feel like we might have a dislike for them.
Yeah.
Because
But there can be
evoking
like a third
emotional
person.
responses.
They can be like a third person that you've made the karmic contract with to be your helper in this lifetime with a certain growth pattern that's from another person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Jacqueline. Oh, wait, unmute.
Okay, there. Hi.
Hi.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
The themes of growth, you said trust, forgiveness, unconditional love. Is it a finite amount of themes? Are they just like, is it pretty much those themes, or is it?
No, I was just using examples.
Okay.
Right.
So there can be different themes of growth.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And is the soul ever complete? So you've lived out the polarities, you've lived out, I know I've been the persecutor. I know I've been the persecutor.
Yeah.
I know I felt persecuted, but do you ever come to the place where the soul is, that soul's journey is complete?
So I have my records open, and I was just curious what they had to say. And they say the journey within the journey is complete.
Oh.
So let's break it
okay.
down more. The journey within the journey is complete, but there is this evolution that's wanting to happen, right? Yeah. And within that journey of evolution, you can come into completion with specific growths, right?
Yes.
But the message is very clear. The soul continues to evolve.
Okay.
Right. And when we're looking at it through our human perspective, our human lens, we might bring in suffering, right? Right? Like, oh, all that growth has to do with suffering or something. But if we can take a step outside that human lens, right? And look from that soul level, it's not all about suffering, right? With that journey of evolution with the soul.
So it's a continuous, constant evolution. It is it's the evolution. There's not a finite ending in life.
But
okay,
the Akashic Record was just sharing with me, but there is the journey within the journey, and the journeys within the journey, you can come to completion and close, right, those contracts. But but it's very clear, but the soul will continue to evolve.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm learning here too.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sherry.
Okay, we're talking about the human lifetimes. So maybe if some of those close, we have the choice or the opportunity to go to a different dimension or a different planet to learn lessons there as well. So the journey within the journey is expanded in different ways.
Yeah, and the earth can be one of those places where the growth lessons can be amplified and resolved quickly, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then, you may choose to incarnate elsewhere, different planet, right? And it doesn't mean that your soul's not evolving, but it could very much look different than the human experience on Earth, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Christy.
Yeah, so I think we see a lot of these lessons, these examples of lessons. Well, I'm here to learn trust, I'm here to learn forgiveness. And just says to me on a human level, it says, okay, difficult circumstances coming up, and I mean, do we ever ask to contract for just unconditional love or something that is going to be
Yep.
not so negative? I guess it's not
Yes, of course.
negative, but it feels that way sometimes. So, yeah, so you can ask for happy things too.
Yep.
In your contract.
Exactly, right? Maybe, and I'm sure you guys can think about just some of the beautiful things in your life, right? Where you get to experience gratitude, right? Right?
Yeah.
Where you get to experience bliss, right? You get, maybe your soul is wanting you to experience loving partnership, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. We needed that balance. Thank you, Christy. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be all challenge, all suffering, right? We're also embracing the beauty in life, right? Yeah. Mhm. Any other questions? You guys are feeling fulfilled?
I have one more.
Yeah, Monica.
Sorry, I didn't know if it was working or not. When we ask for, because that's what I asked for, was something beautiful, was to feel the everlasting love and laughter that life has to really offer. And something huge happened that, I've been able to actually find that and be in it through all of this. But it is a huge challenge. It's like, wow, okay, I asked for beauty and whoa, look at what I got.
You're
So
kind of cutting in and
how it all
out,
comes up.
but you were asking about like maintaining the love.
The love and laughter that I was able to see when I was done with a seminar, a meditation seminar. And it's a big, huge, that's when this big, huge thing happened.
The image that's coming to me from guidance is the reminder of ourselves as a whole, right? And the moment that we forget ourselves, forget the whole of who we are, is a moment where we can be overly attached to a certain aspect of ourselves that's playing out. And that can lead to human suffering.
Okay.
But the more that we acknowledge the wholeness of who we are and remain in the present, we're connected in love.
Okay. No, that makes total sense. Okay. Wow.
And that's
Life
what I
is
got.
crazy.
I don't have any more messages coming. I want them to repeat that though. That was nice.
That was nice.
I just
Thank
want
you
to see
so
if
much.
they'll repeat that. Yeah. The more we can stay connected to the whole of who we are, not getting lost in an aspect that can lead to this human suffering, right?
Yeah.
Staying connected to the whole of who we are, remaining present. We are connected with love. We are connected with source.
Thank you.
Did that answer your question, Monica?
It did answer my question. It was just a little reminder that I needed because I get stuck in, with my thing, it's pictures. So yeah, got it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And so you might even think about what are those things in life? Like for me, it could be going to nature, right? I might go on a quiet, silent walk in nature, right? In those moments where I'm needing to reconnect with the wholeness, right? Where I might be lost in a story or something, right? In a little aspect of myself. And all of a sudden I'm just hanging around in the suffering, right? How can I get back to myself, right? What are those tools and skills that you have that help you get back to yourself, that connection? Okay? Because then you're going back to that essence of the wholeness of who you are, coming to the present moment, reunited with love, reunited with source. No longer caught in illusion. And just so you guys know, for me, just here as a human, right? I don't know a lot of stuff. A lot of times I just have to check in with the Akashic Record, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm just learning with all of you, right? And just how I shared this information about the soul, right? It's from my experience of working with the Akashic Record, accessing information and witnessing what's going on in my own life, what's going on in the lives of others, right? And you acquire this wisdom, right? But a lot of times, right, I'm right here with you learning. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Aw. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. It's been such an honor. Aw.
Thank you, Renee.
Oh, you're so welcome. Yep. And of course, I think you guys all know I do offer the Akashic Record readings if you're ever feeling called to get one of those, or some of you have already done them, the Akashic Record courses for learning to access your own records and stuff. Yeah. But I hope you also get the chance just to watch the replay of this, and just try take some of that information in, and I hope it does help support you, in those moments of your growth contracts, right? To connect with that deeper meaning and not get overwhelmed in suffering. Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gotti.